folks. We made it through the draft. We might have got a steal, and actually, we did get a steal in round 4. We got a couple of guys in round 7. We got some unsigned, undrafted free agents that we're going to talk about. We got a special guest in the house to help us do that. We are going to introduce him in a few minutes. Let's get going, boys. And welcome in to Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons Fans Cast. My name is John, your host, joined by my co-host, Mr. Mike Cottrell, and a special guest today, Mr. Cole Barkley of the U in the Mountains podcast, a Utah podcast. What's going on, boys?
Man, I feel good. I'm gonna tell you, I'm happy to have my man Cole on, and I want to tell a funny story to Cole before we even get started. Cole, here's what happened. John told me, now I know Vic is my man. So when John told me like Vic and Cole, we're gonna have Vic and Cole on the show, I was like, cool, I know Vic. Then I was thinking, I don't know Cole. Then some hours went past and I texted John. I said, are we talking about, man, like my boy Cole, like Cole? And he was like, oh yeah. Like, oh shit, I know who we have. I want to say this before I introduce this dude. It's like a saying we say when we say that people have been rocking with us since the beginning. It's more of a saying. With this dude, it's literal. It's a literal thing. Like this dude been with us since the very start of the podcast. So I'm his biggest fan. And he loved Matt Ryan like I love Matt Ryan.
I ride or die for Matt Ryan.
And this dude is my man. So we happy to have you on the show. Cole, what's happening, buddy?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. Longtime Falcons fan, Utah resident, University of Utah alumni. Watched Clark Phillips play for the last 3 years in person. I'm super excited to be on. Appreciate you guys having me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course, dude. That was the very first thing I thought of when we drafted Clark. I was like, hell yeah, we can get Cole on. We can get Vic on. Vic had a little bit of situation last night. He went out with the wife. Maybe had one too many. Dealing with it today.
Vic, I gotta get you. You gotta get on the show, but when you come on the show, I gotta get you for that, buddy.
So shout out to Vic. Anyway, that is Cole, and y'all have probably seen him on Twitter. Vic Master, he's a huge Falcons fan as well. Also, Utah guy as well. Obviously, he's Cole's partner on the podcast. So yeah, man. Let's jump in the chat real quick. I don't know how many this is just a pop up random. Like we didn't know we were going to record because of Liam's baseball schedule was kind of nuts. We had a game at 4 and 7 yesterday. The game didn't actually start till like 8:30, so we didn't get home until like damn near midnight, and we thought we were going to be back this morning at 9. Well, it rained like 2 inches last night, and they canceled they canceled the games at 6 a.m. this morning, which I wasn't too upset about. So we went back to sleep, and we just had to figure out when to get the show in today. So
John, what you was going to have to be up at 6 a.m. to start driving to the game?
We'd had to get up at like 6:30, yeah, because we had to be at the field at 8. So get up, get dressed, get breakfast, all that shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so we would have, for a 9 o'clock game. And if we'd have won that game, we'd have had to break until like 2. So it would have been like an all-day affair type of thing.
So I just want to address this out the gate. What is wrong with your arm, Cole? Why is your arm in the sling on the show, buddy?
So I was just at the gym lifting, doing what I do, and I tore the long head of my bicep right where it connects to my shoulder. And I actually managed to tear it so bad I pulled it out of the socket. So I've got a screw in there now. That surgery was a week ago. Feeling good, trying to get healthy again.
See, hold on, Vic. Cole made it. Cole made it with injury, buddy. Yeah, Cole made it with injury. Shame on you.
Vic has a whole nother problem. He'd be falling asleep on the podcast.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, throwing up.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so man. What's going on, Miss Pamela? Good to see you. What's up? What's going on, Alberta? Good to see you, man. Aaron, what's happening?
Aaron.
You said good draft. Hopefully we got some gems. Yeah, man. I think so, buddy. I think so. So, man, let's just get right into it. And I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth. I posted a thing on Twitter today. It's got all these people really riled up, man. I just asked a question.
Let me tell you what John's super skill is. When John tweet, I'm going to tell you, man, it don't matter if I put 20 minutes into the thought of my tweet. It get 12 likes, 2 views. John will post something that John's tweets get 50,000 views, and I'm in awe. Like, that's what he does. That's what he does. He know how to incite the fan base every time. 50,000, 60,000. It's amazing.
No, dude, I just because a lot of folks are pissed that we passed on Carter for Bijan. So
Yeah.
I just asked, man, like, if would the Georgia fans be okay if we'd have drafted Gurley in 2015 at 8? That's all I was asking. I'm getting all kinds of people in their feelings. I mean, like, giving me answers I'm not even asking for. I'll just say, are you cool with it or not?
John, before we start that, I want to ask Cole. Hey, Cole, have you ever lived in Georgia? Like, how did you become an Atlanta fan in Utah?
So the long story short is my dad's a diehard 49ers fan. I had a little brother growing up. I still have a little brother, but growing up, we played a lot of Madden together. And being the older brother, I always played as the 49ers because, it was dad's team. And when I was about 11 and my brother was like 8, he finally snapped one day because I beat him every time. He never won. And he was like, you have to play as a team other than the 49ers. I get to play as the 49ers. And the local high school in our area modeled their jerseys off the Falcons, like 1-to-1. It was the old 2010 black unis. They even used the same logo. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'll play as Atlanta. Like, it looks like the high school I'm going to play for when I'm older. Like, it'll be fun. And absolutely destroyed my brother. I think the final score was like 63-7 or something. And so it just kind of became a running joke where it was like, oh, you can't even beat me when I'm playing as the Falcons. Like, you're bad. And this was Matt Ryan's, I think, third year because it was Julio's rookie year.
Okay.
And every play, it was just 4 verts, and it was like Roddy White or Julio, one of them scoring. And after a while, like, I knew the whole roster. I watched their games, and it hit a point where I was like 12 or 13, where I was like, man, is the joke on me? Like, am I a Falcons fan now? So here I am now, 10 years later.
I love it, buddy.
Going strong.
I love it, man.
That is awesome, man.
That's a true blue Falcon fan.
That's right.
Jordan, what's up?
Jordan, what's going on, man? Hillwell, what's up, brother? Uncle Steve, baby, what's going on? Make sure y'all check out Uncle Steve's Lounge, man. Got to. A couple of times a week, he's live, if not more. Great show, man. Love that dude. Alberta, how dare John challenge the mindset of Georgia fans? Dude, I'm getting all sorts of stuff, man. It's great. I mean, some folks are just straight out honest, like, yeah, I would have actually done it. I would have been happy with it, which is great. Some folks are like, no, we didn't need a running back in 2015 as compared to, we had one there. Do we have one now? Is it a need? Not really a wrong answer. I'm just asking, would you be cool with it? That's all I'm asking. But man, I mean, folks are giving me like really detailed answers. It's nice. And some are just, this is going to go on for a while, it looks like. So anyway, let's get into our round 4 pick, man. Clark Phillips III, buddy. Cornerback, Utah, 5'10", 185 pounds. Last year, as Mike, y'all probably saw Mike. He did one of his draft profiles was actually on Clark Phillips, and he called it pretty well, man. We reposted that yesterday. You can check that on the videos. But 6 interceptions, 6 pass deflected, 14 tackles, and 2 return touchdowns last year. So, Cole, man, you're the expert on Mr. Clark here. What's that? I'm sure you're happy about the pick number 1, but just tell us, man, what do we got here in Clark?
Yeah, I mean, the greatest thing about Clark is what he lacks in size, he makes up for in grit and technical soundness. I mean, every rep, it was like, that is premier cornerback play, great shadowing the route. I watched him go toe-to-toe with Drake London and Jordan Addison in back-to-back years and consistently win. The dude plays tough. He plays hard. Obviously, he's a little bit short. That's why I think, in Atlanta, he'll probably start out in the nickel position. I doubt he sees much of outside corner, especially with Terrell and Okudah. But he's a great nickel fit. What he lacks in straightaway speed, he makes up for in quickness. I know a couple people were worried about like the 4.5 40 time he posted at the combine. He's got great change of direction, great ability to shadow the route, and the dude is a workhorse. Stays late in the weight room, studies film religiously. He really goes above and beyond to make up for what a lot of people see as like physical deficits.
Well, that sounds straight up like Arthur Smith right there.
Yeah,
exactly.
All good news.
Yeah, I mean, that's, people probably seen on Twitter, if you haven't, people have posted, videos of him up against Jordan Addison last year, Drake London the year before, like he's performed well against like top-notch round 1 talent,
And a lot of Pac-12 receivers this year, when entering the draft, were kind of asked who was the toughest cornerback you faced in college, who was your least favorite cornerback to go up against, and 9 out of 10 would say Clark Phillips.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Man, I in the video, the main thing I said was if y'all remember Gary Payton, that's who he reminded me of, even though that's a totally different sport. It was the glove. Like, he follows you. Like he said, shadow, like, oh man, you're not losing him. He might not be as big as you, but you're not losing him.
He reminds me a lot of the way Asante Samuel Jr. has been playing in LA the last couple of years.
Thanks, Berto.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was watching what was it? I think it was the Falcoholic, and then me and Dave and I was texting each other, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I really think that he'll find the field quicker than sooner than later, and that whether it's in that nickel spot or not, because he has the ability to play outside, but like Cole said, like with this size, it's not ideal, but I mean, you do see." He like I tweeted yesterday, from everything I watched, man, the dude plays bigger than he is. I mean, like, he really does. So I mean, and he's not afraid to go, out. He can be aggressive. He's not overly aggressive. He's not to where like it's to the detriment. Like, you'll see some guys break on everything and they give up a long ass run, or long ass completion. So that's not nothing I'm really worried about. And looking at the Draft Network, they said basically top reasons to buy in: quick feet, fluid hips, ball skills, competitive toughness, coverage instincts. And the only reasons for concern they had was really the size, the tackling consistency. And it said it was not due to passive tendencies. He's not passive. It's just the form basically, and then playing off contact. So,
it said no passive tendencies, and I said, Arthur Smith saw that and was like, "That's man, but that's something to say." And I thought it was great that he's very capable of, if he get the pick, he's very capable of scoring 6 with that thing. So gotta count that in there.
Yeah. And he said, I mean, they basically said that his ideal role. Oh, I'm sorry. He says ideal scheme fit was basically he excels mostly in man coverage, which we kind of hear that's what we kind of might be going more toward this year. And they compared him to Denzel Ward, which is, I mean, if we get Denzel Ward out of him, then my God, that's a pretty good comp. Let's see. Let me get back in here. Terry, what's up, brother?
Terry.
Pamela said no fly zone in the bins.
There you go. Pam on gangster time.
Oh man, Uncle Steve said, "Man, I hear for John getting pissed off at these geniuses." And Daniel Bryan voice, yes, man. It's fun, man. I'm just gonna let this ride all day long because they're just taking it and running with it. It's great. Ghost Peppers, what's happening, man?
Ghost Peppers.
He said, "What's good, Falcons fam?" Or in the words of the new Falcons legend, 28-3. Good one, Mike. You did see that, right?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's awesome. He said, "We heard that. Screw the haters. No more foolishness. It's 30 Birds time to take over. Let's go." Yes, sir. Man,
the greatest quote I saw that was under that was somebody said, "I'm so sorry, I forget your name." Somebody said 28-3. What they need to be worried about is 2023. And I said,
that was Wound. That was Wound Carter. Yeah, was Wound.
That was a good one. What you need to be worried about is 2023. But that's old news at this point.
Dude, I mean, we had
I feel so good. It don't even bring me down no more. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't care what you're talking about.
The Matt Ryan video you posted, like, you see the one comment said 28-3, and I wanted to like say something, but
Joe had to take up for me. I got dragged, so to step in on the comments and say, "Hey man, you got to give Mike a break," because that's his favorite Falcon. Because people was dragging me. Oh, this dude with no rings.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't think they even watched the video.
I love Matt Ryan.
I don't think they even watched the video because I
don't think they watched it.
It's some great points in that video.
I gotta drag you for that.
For me, Matt Ryan is a great litmus test to whether or not people actually watch football.
Yeah.
Because anyone who actually watches ball knows that he's great and that a lot of our issues were not his fault. In fact, we succeeded in spite of it because of him.
There you go. There you go.
No, yeah, that video was perfect. I mean, he detailed like how he led the league, or led like number one in history as far as like throwing for so many yards and still losing the game, or throw so many touchdowns and still losing the game. So it's not all it's not all just this black and white, man. Aaron said, "What will make that guy more dominant is if AJ and Jeff get him with their trainer Oliver Davis. Davis is a terrific trainer." I will defer to you, buddy, and I would. I mean, if that's the case, then that's awesome. And the fact that Jerry Gray's here, and on top of that, I mean, he's got some great guys to learn from, man. I mean, just period.
Cole, is he an instant impact, or you think like 2-3 years before he's himself?
I think it is going to kind of depend on how guys like Mike Hughes and D. Alford perform. I think if they don't impress in camp, Clark is probably our starting nickelback day one.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a little bit more of a battle, they might rotate Mike Hughes in, they might rotate D. Alford in, kind of see who gets the hot hand, see who kind of hits the stride come midseason. He'll definitely get snaps early on. I don't know if he'll be a dedicated starter. I expect him to be kind of the go-to guy in year 2 or year 3, especially if we don't hold on to Okudah, don't extend his contract. But I think this year is really just going to depend on whether or not he's able to stand marginally above guys like Mike Hughes and D. Alford in camp.
Got it. Nice.
Agreed. Miss B, what's happening?
Miss B.
Good to see you. Facebook user. What's up, Mike? I don't know who that is. He probably
have
knows
no
you.
idea who that is, but what's up?
Christopher said, boom, facts. Mike. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I said, what Cole said. I mean, like if Hughes comes out and kind of wins that position out of camp, then I do think though he's going to be challenged a whole lot by Clark. I mean, just his speed, his athleticism, and what he can do. I think right off the bat he's going to be challenging for that. And like I said, D. Alford 1 year in the system, even though the system's now kind of going to change because from Pease to Nielsen, we don't know. But I mean, we'll see, man. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he can do. Dude, not to mention, like we were talking about this last night, me and Liam. Dude, when we go to training camp, we're gonna have to get there at like 2 a.m. or like stay the night.
Oh,
because there's gonna be so many people there, dude. Like we're ready to see Bijan and everybody. It's gonna be nuts. Miss B said that 28-3 mess is so outdated. It's annoying to hear people bringing that up. Like there's no other situations that have occurred in football. Hell, the Bills lost 4 and 3 were consecutive. I tell me about. I don't even care. It does not affect me one bit. Like I just laugh at folks when they say it now. I'm like. I mean,
Brett Favre turned out to be a scumbag. Why don't we talk about that? Now we
right.
Flipping over Brett Favre to still talk about us. Come on, man.
Exactly right, man. All right, getting into the next guy. We drafted. So I saw the first pick before we had to leave for the game, and then we had like 100 picks go before we picked again. But yeah, so we ended up getting DeMarco Hellams out of Alabama, which made me happy because I am an Alabama fan, obviously. And I've watched DeMarco play there.
John, So he just told us about Clark because now you've seen every game of this man. I'm asking you, what just for the people who don't, because I don't know the man. I have no idea who we picked. For the people that don't know, like myself, you got to tell us now who we got in him. You got to talk to us about it.
His nickname was Hitman.
Now that's a good hit. That's a good.
I like that.
Yeah, no, he's your he's 6'1", 208, 210, somewhere around there. But he's your prototypical like I'm gonna hit you in the face like linebacker or like safety. I mean, like he's the come down and just smash you type of guy. I think he'll definitely make the squad. I think he'll probably have an impact on special teams. If they run a 3 safety set, you might see Jalen out, buddy. I hate to say it, but you might see Jalen out if they run that, if they want that bigger type of thumper coming down in the box. That's if obviously if he has a good camp and he's able to grasp everything because it's a different game. But I mean he led Crimson, he led Alabama in tackles, man. Very good tackler. He's not great in man, but you don't want your safety really to end up in man. But worst case, we do with Jesse covering that back third now. That's going to allow. We said it before. It's going to help Richie. It's going to help whoever's playing that second, maybe even third safety role if we run with those 3 safeties. I mean, his speed doesn't have like great top end speed or anything like that. He's like I said, he's just your old school like come up
like
and hit you,
run
stopper type of. I mean, really, I'm trying to think of as a good comparison. If you just think of your like any old school type safety that just wasn't great in coverage, but he was going to smash you in your face if you got caught. Or if if like you coming across the middle, like he's going to take you out, that type of guy. I'm going to come up and stuff you in the run, that type of thing. So
do you think he'll get used kind of similarly to how we used Keanu Neal?
Similar, yeah, I think so.
Okay,
yeah, I could definitely see that because it's Keanu, similar traits. Because Keanu wasn't great in pass coverage either, but he would sure as hell come up and knock your teeth out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there were several. Look, I mean, like this is a bad year to ask me about Bama's defense because it was not a good year overall. The secondary was not great just in general. Like we had some good players in the secondary. Brian Branch, Jordan Battle, Kool-Aid McKinstry will come out next year as probably a top corner. But
Kool-Aid, is that what you call him?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, that's a dope ass name. Why do they call him Kool-Aid? What's his name?
His name.
Oh, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So and Helms was like that third guy. It's like he wasn't like, it was normally Battle and Branch for the start, but sometimes you'd see all three in there. But there was a few games he would get beat vertically, that teams would take advantage of that matchup and beat him vertically. But like I said, as far as and you got to worry about the work ethic. He started so many games at Alabama, and you don't start games at Alabama and with Nick Saban if you don't work, you don't put in the time, and you don't do that. So like he's going to put in the work. He's a hard, that's not an issue. He said they say he weighed in at 6'1", 203 at the combine actually.
This draft has made it really clear that this regime is focused on character guys,
huge
leaders, captains, guys that are dedicated.
A lot of captains.
Yeah. So, and like just looking at what the Draft Network said here, his 40 was a 4.57, so not slow, but not like the fastest guy in the world. I mean, we've gotten so used to like guys running 4.4. It's just like nobody 4.5 is still really damn fast. It's just not. It's just not as like those guys type fast. They said his ideal role was starting strong safety, and his scheme fit was predominantly zone defense. So, I mean, he'll be in there. Like I said, I think he'll make an impact on special teams, and then depending on how he had 62 tackles in 2022. Pretty solid. Coming in one interception, 2 passes defended. So, I think that's for a 7th rounder. Let's be honest, man. 7th rounders, you're hoping you're getting guys that make the squad.
Yeah.
So, and he's definitely going to make. I'd be shocked if he didn't make the squad. Let's see. Oh, Miss B said, please tell us about DeMarco. Well, hopefully that was good. Aaron said DeMarco was a perfect fit for the Falcons, dude. Huge and perfect player against the run. Yep. And my second favorite player drafted, obviously behind Clark.
I love it. Second favorite. Okay.
Pamela said, I believe all the draft picks last year and this year will make a major impact.
I'm with you, Miss Pam. I'm with you.
Chris Anderson, Javon Gwynn has that Tyson Clabo net. Now that I didn't know that, but I love to hear that because Clabo was a freaking nasty.
And you know his parents from the hood. When you start spelling stuff like that, your parents from the he's from the street. He gonna get it and get on. He gonna get it on. I promise you. I saw that. That was my first thought. He gonna be a problem when he get in. Trust me.
Yeah, I didn't have to go back and read up on Javon because obviously I saw a few of his games at.
He seemed like the best dude. Though. He seemed like the coolest dude.
Yeah, I mean he's like a touch under. I mean, if you want to say undersized, he's 6'2", 297 is what he weighed in at. But his arm's length is the biggest deal, I guess, with him. It's not not the longest of arms. But as Cole said, I mean the dude was, I think, 2022 All SEC second team by the coaches. He was awarded the Outstanding Student Athlete Award, Strength and Conditioning Award, Most Outstanding Senior Award. Was named the Rex Enright team captain for the 2nd straight year at his team's senior banquet earlier in the week. So the character thing and the working hard thing, like that's that guy right there. And if what Chris said is like if he's nasty on top of it, hey, that's just an extra cherry on top. Let's see. His wingspan 76.5/8 was disappointing. But on the field is impressive in practice, using strong hands, great technique to be a consistent pass protector, which that's good to hear. I mean,
I got to ask you this, man, because I did get this from you, and I've been repeating it ever since. John said again, if you can pick talent, then you can pick talent, like in the later rounds as well. It's not just first round. If you could really pick them, John, what do you personally think about the later round picks? Do you think they hit a home run again, like with Tyler and all? Because you called Tyler. You said even though that's later rounds, you call. What do you think this year about the later round? Not early on, but the later round picks. What grade are you giving them personally?
I mean, not to sound stupid, but I give him an A, dude. I mean, you getting Clark, and a lot of people gave Clark a 2nd round grade. And so the fact that and honestly, if he's 2 inches taller, he's probably gone the first round. Because like his production on the field is there. It's just his height, and that's the only thing that people were concerned about. And that was, so to get a guy with that some people would say would he want the 2nd and the 4th to fill a need, to make our depth even better in the secondary. Yeah, I mean, and then to again find 2 guys in the 7th that could legit make the team, which is not common a lot of the time. So I mean, they might make the team, but we're talking about depth players. Like if DeMarco can end up starting from here and there, and moving in, and then we don't know what Javon's going to be. Like I know Arthur said there's a chance he could move to center, if needed, which is, we'll see. I mean, like Dahlman, I think they definitely want to give Dahlman the chance to do it.
To lose his job.
Yeah, I mean, he's, and we've talked about, I mean, as long as he improves his functional strength and can get that. I mean, like and Cole and I were talking about before the show, the snapping thing was just a huge issue last year. And it got it for whatever reason, it got better with Dez. And I don't know if that had to do with Dez, if it just had to do with, he was just finally, repetition, doing it over and over and over again. He finally got better at it. But if he can keep that under control and he doesn't just get ran the hell over by a lot of the tackles, then we might be in okay shape there. But it's good to have a guy with this type of versatility, just in case that's not there. We've talked about it before. The offensive line, defensive line, you could never have enough depth. So I don't hate the pick, and the fact that both these guys came from the SEC. In the seventh round, with that level of competition, then I've got no issue with it whatsoever, man.
Well, and the other great thing about Gwynn is he's great injury insurance. A guy that versatile who can play guard, can play center, you can move him around. It's if one of those starters goes down, we have a guy who can fill just about any position except for tackle.
Oh, 100%.
So, Cole, I asked you, Cole, how was your feeling of Bijan? Was he somebody you wanted, or were you disappointed when that came through at 8?
So I was originally in the anti-Bijan camp before free agency started, before we really got into the offseason swing. It was, we have so many bigger needs. We have so many other areas of concern. I think he's an electric player. I think we are instantly a better team with him on it. But I was very much, we have so many other things I would rather see us address first. After how well we did in free agency, bringing in Jesse Bates, trading for Jeff Okudah, bringing in Calais Campbell, and Onyemata. By the time we hit draft night, I was like, you know what? Give me Bijan or give me Deck. We did really well in free agency. We filled up a lot of the holes that I was worried about. Bring in a guy who's going to instantly make us better.
I love it. Now, I got to ask you this too, Cole. Was there a player that we did not draft that you just specifically, like you wanted him on our team for some specific Cole type of reason? Did you that was your guy you wanted as a Falcon? But we didn't.
Hilariously enough, my first answer would have been Clark Phillips. I mean, I thought there was no chance in hell we were going to land him. Dude, so I about jumped out of my seat.
I was going to say, like, how high did you jump, and how, like, did you have to clutch your arms so you didn't hurt yourself again, or like?
I definitely had to grab an ice pack after and settle down a little bit. But other than that, I mean, some of those premier pass rushers, I was kind of bummed that Tyree Wilson didn't fall to us.
Gotcha.
That suit, man, I'm telling you, man, that suit was just fire.
Yeah. I'm not a big Bulldogs fan. I mean, obviously, I'm from Utah. I'm a big Utah guy, but I was interested to see what we could do with Nolan Smith. I know the regime really liked him and the way that he interviewed. I'll be interested to kind of see how his career develops with the Eagles. But that was one that I was like, if it wasn't going to be Bijan, my other options would have probably been edge guys like Tyree Wilson, Nolan Smith, just to see what we could do with them.
I got you.
Yeah. What did you think about Zach Harrison?
I mean, I love the size. I love the athleticism. I definitely think he's a project guy. I don't think he's going to be a huge impact starter his first year, especially when we have Malone and Ebiketie, who have been in the league for a year, have a little bit more experience under their belt. But if Ryan Nielsen can turn him into the guy that he thinks he can be, I think he will be a monster just with the size and athleticism that he brings.
Yeah, he's just a tick behind Tyree Wilson in his size, like the size comparison.
Yeah.
Now Tyree's a more polished guy, and he's definitely, I mean, number 7 overall. So, but Zach has that ability, and Adamski, one of our, obviously, and Kevo, both our boys, they're big Ohio State guys, and Adamski was straight up. The dude was a 5-star recruit, coming out of high school. He never quite got there. He could never quite put it all together on the field at Ohio State, but the dude's got every trait that you want to see, so if guys like Calais, all those veteran guys we have, Bud Dupree, Grady, all those guys combined with Nielsen, man, they should be able to really just coach this dude up. And he's not, I think Arthur said in the press conference, he doesn't have to come in and give us instant impact. Like he's got time to develop.
it's the same argument that a lot of draft analysts were making about Anthony Richardson, the quarterback. If you can take a guy who's an athletic freak but needs some technical coaching, why not take that chance? Like if there's even a 15% chance that Zach Harrison pans out to be the guy that it appears he can be just based on his measurables, why not take that chance?
100% agree. Miss B said, I didn't like the Bijan pick, but after watching his press conference, he is growing on me. Such a mature young man. Yeah, he's got me sold on him. Now, that is a fact. Yeah. And Mike and I said on the reaction show after the first round that, I mean, I think when they went to Austin, that was it. They were sold on Bijan. They were like, okay, we've seen the film. We know what he can do. But now to listen to what type of man he is and where his priorities are, like, okay, it's a no-brainer, and
Miss B, I gotta say this, John. Miss B, let me tell you why I respect you. You have done this several times where you had an opinion and you got some information and then you change your opinion, which is the human intelligent thing to do. So I respect you for that because you don't double down after you find something. I always respect you for that. She always, if she don't know, she might be waffling, then she get informed, and then she be like, well, I kind of like it now that I know this. It's people on Twitter that refuse to do that no matter what happens.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, and I love is when they folks and they come after me if one of my tweets something like that, like, I'm gonna get you, and I'm like, dude, you can get me. It's totally fine. Like, I might be wrong. Like, that's part of this thing. Like, it's just my opinion. I could be wrong, and if I am, I will gladly admit it. I don't. I mean, that's just part of this. That's just part of it, man. But yeah, I mean, Miss Pamela said definitely no skeletons in the closet from these draft picks.
Man, it's a big thing. But I forget. I don't know where I got this from. It's a saying that say "steel sharpens steel," and when you got everybody in practice, they got a chip on their shoulder. Everyone's a hard worker. Everyone has like integrity. It's gonna just push everybody to the furthest extent they can possibly go. So that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, they said they want to make it tough to make this. It's going to be tough to make this roster. I mean, last year I could have possibly made it a safety. So like this year, I mean, this year we're going to have it's going to be a hell of a competition, man. Like it really is. Go ahead, Cole. I mean, cut you off. But.
My only real remaining concern is wide receiver depth. Obviously, we've got Drake London. We got Kyle Pitts, who's probably going to be playing a lot more out wide this season with the pickup of Jonnu Smith. I would just love to see someone step into that wide receiver 2 role. And I know we picked up Mac Hollins, and I know we brought in a couple other guys to compete for that role, but I want to see someone really kind of stand out as that solid wide receiver 2 second option. That's my only real question mark left on this roster.
You're speaking too general, Cole. I need to know who Cole wanted at that wide receiver 2.
I mean, honestly, if he was available, I would have loved to see us pick up Tyler Scott out of Cincinnati because he brings the speed that Drake London doesn't have. Drake is a very physical guy. He beats you with his footwork. He beats you with his body, but he doesn't have that breakaway speed. And especially a guy like Tyler Scott, who's got previous experience with our quarterback, played with Desmond Ridder in college. And if you can find a guy who already has that chemistry with your young QB, that would have been my one that I was like, if we could have gotten him, that would have been cool to see.
Love it.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned Jonnu too, because when we're looking back at this draft, we have to include Jonnu and Okudah in this draft. Because they were, I mean, we got a Jonnu for a 7th rounder, right? And we got Okudah for a 5th, right? Am I recalling that right? So, I mean, that's pretty. If Okudah ends up being like a legitimate starting CB2, I mean, that's a hell of a win, Now, you can't look back at last year and say, okay, we gave away a 5th for Brian Edwards, and that was a huge loss. But, I mean, like it's, year to year, it's a little bit different. Aaron says 62 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss. Perfect fit with the corners and the DBs here. Talking about DeMarco Ellams. Yeah, man. I 100%. Good on, Billy.
Meals.
I'm glad you said that, man. He said that boy Justin Marshall, like he's going to be nice. Yeah, so undrafted free agent signings, that's one of them. He's wide receiver out of Buffalo. Actually from here in Georgia. He's from Covington, Georgia.
Love it.
Started off his career at Louisville. Didn't go so well. Transferred to Buffalo his senior year. Had a good year his senior year. He's 6'3", I think. Let me pull him back up. I had him up. 6'3", 210, I believe. So he's got that size that, of course they like. And, again, like if it's somebody they've invited in, they know he's the guy that's going to work. The Pro Football Network did a profile on him. they weren't super high on him just based on that he just never could get going at that level of competition at Louisville. So he went to Buffalo, a little bit lower competition. He stood out a little bit more. Said he didn't have like really that top end speed, breakaway speed guy, but he is a great soft hands, can go high point the ball, catches anything around him, good radius, all that stuff. So, I mean, with the, like Cole just said, with the position that we still are kind of question marked on, and I don't even know, like, it depends on what they do between now and the season. I mean, we've heard the positionless players so much, right, with Arthur Smith. So we may see there may not be a bona fide wide receiver too. It could be Scotty Miller sometimes. It could be Bijan Robinson sometimes. It could be Kyle Pitts sometimes.
Bijan.
I mean, like, right. There's so many guys that's interchangeable that I don't know that we may, I mean, Corey Davis, no guys still waiting on possibly that to come, that, for the Jets to let him go and we make a trade. I don't know, man. We'll
see.
But
Don't please make my day because I have not looked it up yet. Did Cole Tucker get drafted or did it not happen?
I did not know. I don't know. Do you know, Cole? Do you want to look it up? Or anybody want to look it up? I don't know. I can look it up.
I can pull it up real quick.
Cole Tucker, North Illinois. Did he go?
Cole Tucker drafted.
7th round or something.
Pam said, I love the Bijan pick. I was cloud 9 when they called it. I know you were, Miss Pam, because you've been saying Miss Bijan for how long?
Yeah. I'm happy for you, Miss Pam, and I'm happy for my damn self.
That's right.
Cole, what you think? Is he?
I am not seeing it.
He didn't get drafted.
Undrafted.
Packers hosted him, but
didn't go.
Not
Cole Tucker.
seeing
Somebody
any...
get him, man. That's my man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's still out there, still an option.
Come on, Cole. Namesake. Come on, man. I think we should. So hold on for a minute. I just want to interject the show real quick. It's out of your Falcon mind. It wouldn't be out of your Falcon mind if we didn't play some sort of game with Cole. We never had him on the show. So we're going to go cold as ice. Not cold as ice, cold as ice.
Love it.
Cole, I got 7 questions. Cole, I got 7 questions for you. I just want you to answer them. You tell me what you think, okay? It's just randomness, okay? 1, I want to say this. There's no one's wife that I admire more than my man Cole, okay? Because my man Cole's wife got him a Matt Ryan jersey long ago. I never forgot it. It almost made me cry. I shed a single tear, okay?
So
you got to really tell me why Cole had a cry. I want you to give advice. I want you to give some advice, Cole, because I read somewhere that you had a crush on your girlfriend in middle school. You had a crush on her in high school, and Cole stepped up to the plate. Cole must have went to this girl he had a crush on, and Cole hit a home run. Cole got her. Cole did not miss. Cole, tell us the story, buddy.
Well, so that's the hilarious part. She's the one that stepped up to the plate.
Oh!
All growing up. Yeah, but we were really good friends. Like we hung out all the time, great friends in the same friend group, and she knew I had a crush on her, but we were young, nothing really ever happened. And then towards the end of our senior year of high school, she asked me to a girl's choice dance. And at that point, like, it had been so long that I was like, okay, like, just so our whole friend group can go. Didn't read too much into it. Didn't think too much of it. I was like, yeah, here's this girl I've been in love with since I was 13. But, this is just going to be fun. At the end of the night, she planted a kiss on me. And now it's been almost 8 years and we're getting married. So
I love it.
She's the one who put in the work.
Congrats, Cole. And she got you the Matt Ryan jersey. I love it.
Well, what was so funny is he got traded on my birthday. So it was like worst birthday ever. My favorite quarterback in team history is out the door. And so it was her like, hey, this will make you feel better. Happy birthday. Signed Matt Ryan jersey. It was awesome.
That is awesome, Cole. I absolutely love it. Number 2, Cole, I got one for you. You said on your Twitter, which my man John is going to agree with you on this one. You said that you don't really understand the debate on Twitter fully in regards to Desmond Ridder because people do one or the other. They say he's an automatic bust or a Hall of Famer. I just wanted you to touch on that. Why is that? Why do you think people do that? And why is that nonsense to you?
Because it's so much easier to have a super hot or super cold take, like to kind of sit in the purgatory of we don't know and it's okay that we don't know. It means admitting you don't know something. And most people on Twitter, they want to be experts. They want to be pundits. They want to be analysts. Whereas I think it's totally fine to say he's still kind of an unknown at this point. Like, I'm not sold on him. I will be the first to say I have question marks going into this season about Desmond Ridder, but I don't think that means he needs to automatically be replaced. I'm more than happy to give him a year to show us more of what's going on there and then make a decision with a larger sample size.
You gotta love it. See, this is why I love Cole. Cole, number 3. Cole, you seem like you wanted Isaiah Oliver to stay in Atlanta, buddy. Why did you want him to stay, and what position did you want him to play?
Yeah, so being a Utah fan, I saw him a lot. Colorado is our quote-unquote rival in the Pac-12. I saw him several times a year. I liked the player. I really think the biggest thing is he was hampered by injuries that last year that he tore his ACL. He was playing great in that nickel role until he got hurt. And that's where I wanted to keep him, was he was playing great in the slot. He obviously was struggling at outside corner, was struggling to match up against those outside guys. But he showed us he was really capable of playing that slot position if he could stay healthy. And I'm just bummed he couldn't stay healthy and earn that spot.
I love it. Cole, number 4. Cole, why do you not tweet enough? Okay, because you never tweet. Like, you got to be really feeling something to tweet. Why is that?
I learned a long time ago, you'll get a lot more information from sitting back and listening. So I like to watch the conversations. I like to watch the discourse, but unless I have something that like I know to be fact, or that I'm a hill I'm willing to die on, I'm very happy to just sit back with my popcorn, watch the fireworks, and kind of build my opinions from there.
I love it.
I get that because I mean that's it's the way to be. On Twitter, you never know what you're going to get. Like there's like we were talking before. There's several. I just don't have the energy to get in the argument about it. You know, some I do. Like today, I woke up, I chose violence. I went straight to Twitter and I said, "This is going to happen." And now I'm reaping, you know, whatever the rewards is.
Especially where so much of the current discourse is based on projection. Like I will be the first person to tweet in defense of Matt Ryan because we have the facts and the stats and the evidence. But this Desmond Ridder argument, this Bijan Robinson argument, this Bulldogs on the Falcons argument, like we don't know. We don't have enough evidence to say we know yet. None of them have played enough. We haven't seen any of them really at the pro level yet. And I'm not going to stick my neck out there to get 400 angry tweets in my mentions.
There you go.
Unless I've got some evidence to back it up.
Hey, we've offered don't know shit at all out there to everyone. And you
don't know shit at all. Yeah, everybody need it. So Cole, number 5. I want you to tell us, because we don't know, because we don't live up there. Who's the greatest Utah Jazz basketball player to ever live, in Cole's opinion?
Oh, see, it's hard because the first 2 that come to mind have been shown to not be great people recently.
Okay.
So I don't really want to say either of them. This is going to be a hot take because he's not even a Jazz player anymore, but the guy in Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
At least in my lifetime, I'm younger. I'm only 24. In my lifetime has been one of my favorites to watch, and what he brought to the community. Like, I think that is such a big piece of it, is what you bring to the community, what you do for your fellow man. He tried really hard to want to be in Utah. He tried really hard to be a member of the community. Unfortunately, the community didn't always love him back, but I think that what he brought on and off the court is what really puts him in that conversation.
I love it. Now here's a hard one, Cole. Now this is a difficult one. I'm just warning you.
Oh, I'm right. I'm ready.
Number six, Cole. I know why people watch our show now. We got graphics. It's a spinning football in the intro. John did. I don't know how that. I don't understand. It's the chat box. We on Twitter. We got TikTok. Why in the world, buddy? I need to know why in the world were you one of the first people to watch Out of Your Falcons? Why in the world were you with us so early on when we had it was none of what I just said? Why?
So I had just joined Twitter at the time. I was very new. I was very new in the Falcons community. I hadn't been active online very long. And you guys were one of the first shows and groups that like interacted with the fan base. Like I knew you guys were a podcast and a show that if I tweeted I'd get a tweet back. I'd get a response. I could in that way engage in the dialogue and be part of the show, so to speak, when you don't really get that a lot in the sports world with bigger shows and people with bigger followings. It was, here's maybe a smaller podcast to start out, but one that speaks back to the fans and clearly cares and is willing to engage in those dialogues. And that's what I was looking for.
I love it. And Cole, last but not least, I need you to do something. Okay. I'm going to put you in a scenario and you walk it out. Okay. Cole, here we go, Cole. Let's go. I've been waiting on you to do this. Okay. Especially for you. Cole, you are on the Hall of Fame board, and they picked everyone else. The last pick is between two people that the room is tied, and they come to you and they say, Cole, tell us it's gonna be Matt Ryan or Eli Manning. And Eli got a ring. And Eli got a ring. So Cole, convince us on behalf of Matty Ice that Matt Ryan should be in the Hall of Fame over Eli Manning.
Okay, so here's the great thing about Matt Ryan is he consistently won on much less talented teams, especially much less defensively talented teams. I think Matt Ryan is the league leader in like throwing 4 touchdowns a game and still losing because his defense allowed 5. And I think the way he elevated all the receivers around him as well. There are so many examples of Falcons receivers who were great in the red and black and kind of floundered out as soon as they left Atlanta. I mean, you can look at towards the end of Mohamed Sanu's career, Hayden Hurst has not performed at the same level as he did with Matt Ryan. Taylor Gabriel didn't even stay in the league very long after being a super electric guy in Atlanta. I think the way that he elevated the team, the leadership, the way that he consistently carried a much less talented team on his back is really kind of what should put him in the Hall. I mean, the guy was Sisyphus. He was constantly climbing uphill with a team on his back while Eli was like dropping not even very accurate bombs to guys to win, 19 to 16 games because he had a defense.
I love it.
Love it.
Cole as Ice. You gotta love the dude, man. We love him.
That was great. I was trying to get back here. Ray Fitty, man. Appreciate you joining us. Where did you go, man? I just lost you. Where you at? Oh yeah, Ray Fitty. So I think we should have got one more speedy receiver. Yeah, that was the only thing. I mean, if we hadn't assigned Scotty Miller, I'd have been like, ooh, we really need to get some speed. I mean, like Scotty should help out there.
Yes.
And again, if they do use Bijan more as a receiving option, that's a very speedy option to have there as well. But yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, there's still a lot of time, and they did sign, other than Justin Marshall, Keelan Harris out of Oklahoma Baptist, and briefly looking at him, 5'9", 183, his 40 time was 4.77. So again, not a speedy guy. Don't know what, who knows what they saw there, but and briefly looking up, I'm just saying, briefly looking over the other undrafted ones. Running back Carlos Washington Jr., Southeast Louisiana. Defensive end Akena Inachukwu. I'm on his maybe out of Rice, and he's a defensive end. And then linebacker Mike Jones Jr. out of LSU. Now, our boy Chris, who is a huge Saints fan, is also a huge LSU guy. So I texted Chris. I said, Chris, can Mike Jones Jr. make the squad? Because I don't really know a lot about him. And he said he's a great cover linebacker, but he doesn't know gap A from gap C.
Oh, no.
Great. Yeah. Wow.
And so he said he might be a special teams guy, but I hope he gets better because he's a very athletic guy. So, I mean, that's that. I said, well, I was going to do a little bit of a deeper dive, but that's perfect. That's great. Now, if you want to tell me that, that's all I need to know. So those are the guys. And then, of course, they have rookie minicamp invites that sent out to several guys. A center, Jacob Gall from Baylor, another edge, Kevon Bennett, who I believe is Cornelius Bennett's son. I want to say
that's pressure
out of Arkansas State. Yeah, so that's pause. Who knows? You got the lineage there. QB Chase Bryce out of Appalachian State, tight end Hunter Swaba. So I don't even know, man, from Quachita Baptist. DB Fernando Jordan from Southeastern. Inside linebacker Jacquez Jones from Kentucky. And a kicker, Matthew Trickett from Minnesota. So, there's still going to be a lot of time between now and the summertime. So there could be a lot more movement. There could be more signings. Who knows? Like I said, the roster's overflowing right now. So there's going to be cuts. It's going to be tough. It's tough for them to make this definitely the final roster.
There you go.
Yeah, the Clark pick put us from a B to an A. Yep. And Millie said, to be honest, I think we're training camp ready in April. Yeah, dude.
Woo, Millie, talking.
It's a good feeling.
How long has it been? My goodness.
Yeah.
Too long.
Aaron said, I'm a little angry because we traded up with the Colts and they took Addy at 110. I'm convinced, man, that he just, for whatever reason, does not fit whatever Nielsen and company want to do here. Because, like, for him to fall that far, like I was texting with Berto, like, dude, how is he
Nobody
still
knew why.
there?
Yep.
Because like, is it the medical? Is it a character? Like, the dude's a athletic. I mean, yeah, he is shorter and like compact, but he's a powerful freaking dude. So yeah, I was a little bit with you there on that one, man. Let's see. Chris said I was at the Oregon versus Utah game last year, and Phillips is that guy.
Okay.
There you go. And
Yep.
Chris is an Oregon guy, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A lot of mutual respect between our fan bases. I mean, okay, Christian Gonzalez is another guy I would have loved to have if we decided to go corner early on. Like that was a guy I was looking at second round. If we wanted to try to trade up back into the end of the first, if he was still on the board before New England took him.
Yes, that was a lot of our favorites. I mean, I
I
couldn't believe he dropped all the way down to on our live draft show. I was like, "There's no way that Bill is going to let him get past."
No way.
He didn't. He took him, of course. Aaron said, "I'm really high on Zach Harrison. He was one of the best run defenders in the draft. If you want his against Georgia in the playoffs, he tore them up. Yeah, good call."
See, she really is open minded. I respect it. So I was just about to ask the same question. I want to know, John and Cole. Everyone is happy with free agency. Cole seems happy. John seems happy. You all both seem happy with the draft. What is the one? You just get to pick one. What is the one hole you still like? Man, that did not get addressed, or I don't feel like that got addressed appropriately. You just one.
John, do you want to go first, or do you want me to take this?
Sure, I can take it. I mean, and what Ghost Pepper said here is kind of right on. I mean, like the linebacker spot's still kind of open there. So, like whether Evans comes back or not, which I'm okay with at this point, because again, if he's a guy in the middle that's kind of.
You don't sound enthused, Johnny Ace. You did not. You gave like your enthusiasm for that was like a 1. I'll take him, but I don't really. It's like I mean. You don't want him back, or you?
No. It's not like, to me. Like I think if they wanted, like really, like had to have him back, it'd have been done by now. Like they're I don't know if they were possibly waiting to see draft other guys get cut, maybe a better fit, younger guy. I don't know. Who knows? Obviously, he was here because of Dean Pease, and he understood Dean Pease' defense from Tennessee. He ran it well. And he was good for us last year. He was a hell of a tackler. He was everywhere.
He was everywhere.
Like I said, he couldn't cover worth a shit, but he could tackle everybody, and that was good. So with guys like, we hope Anderson takes that next step this year. So and obviously, I guess I don't know if Ebike's going to play more off the edge or more off the ball. I assume off the edge, but Dilson likes those bigger edges, obviously, Calais, whatnot. So I don't know where he's going to be lining up. So it's just depends. And, Ellis too. If Ellis is going to play that outside linebacker role, then we still need that guy in the middle that's going to be there, like kind of. And to me, Evans fits that. I mean, he's a smart guy. We know he can, I wouldn't be shocked at all if they resign him, but definitely I think that's a spot. And then he also, Ghost Pepper mentioned, maybe bring in Corey Davis after the Jets cut him. And I wouldn't be opposed to that either, man, at all. So yeah, that's definitely I'll try to think of something else, but go ahead, Cole.
Yeah, John and I had very similar answers. I feel like that linebacker spot, it's a lot of potential that is still a question mark at this point. It's can Ellis bring the fire he brought towards the end of last year with the Saints? Can Troy Anderson take that step forward? Can Walker maybe take another step forward and become more of the guy we expected him to be when we drafted him? If those three guys can step up, I think it's fine to let Evans walk. But if any of those three guys kind of don't pan out or aren't able to take that next step forward, I am going to be worried about that linebacker room if we don't bring Evans back.
I love it.
Yep, good call. And receiver, I think even though we had Bijan, they probably want to maybe add one more running back just for depth purposes. Because with CP, you don't want to be running him too much. Obviously, we saw how he gets worn down throughout the year. And Avery Williams, like we said before, you don't want to rely on Avery. You know what I mean? Like it's not I wouldn't mind if they took us. I don't know if one of the guys I really liked. I don't know if he got drafted or not. Deneric Prince out of Tulsa. I've said it multiple times on the show. I don't know if he got drafted, but if he didn't, I'd like to see them bring him in for a workout.
Who got your boy, John? Bijan's backup.
The Bears.
The Bears. Oh, okay.
Be a good fit for the Bears. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, secondary, we're good. Offensive line, we addressed it. I think Bergeron's going to be a very good, underrated pick, even though we all sat there like, who? What? But it's like immediately, like, just go online, find out some more. I mean, you know, call up Berto. Hey, what's this dude?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Berto, no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that'll be an underrated signing for sure. But, yeah, I mean, it looks like we're ready, man. The Hill Russell Stetson to the Rams was cool. Yeah, perfect fit. I think,
Man, that's my man. I love that dude. Yeah.
Putting that getting behind Stafford back there.
Cool like Cole cool. Like the cool is on the same level. If you wanted Stetson and Cole the same person, I'm telling you, I think there's something going on.
I don't know, man. I can't see Cole like drunk behind the building and telling police
except
officers.
that.
I don't know.
That's a wild dude. That's my man.
Yeah.
He ran a 4.4.
Hey, okay, perfect. That's I will take it then. Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
So Miss B said, "Oh my God, he nailed it with that. It's two extremes. One crowd said he's taking us to the Super Bowl, and some say he's a bust. Like really, nobody knows, and it's okay. Totally agrees. Yep.
100%, man.
Cole, please. I was just gonna say that. Can everybody go follow my man? Just Cole, please. I want you to say it slow and clear so everyone can go over there.
Yeah, it's at Fish Snoop Jr. because my dad's handle has always been Fish Snoop, and he's who got me into football.
There you go. I love it.
You can find me there at Fish Snoop Jr. With the level-headed, not extremist takes on Desmond Ritter.
There you go. Millie Mills said Karl Malone. That's back in our days, man. So yeah, he was him and Stockton were fun to watch, man.
Stockton was something else.
Yeah, by far.
Great players, but don't love the personalities. Yeah.
Deion Jones. Oh, now we talking. Yeah, see. I say we get Devontae Freeman if we doing that. We need another running back. Let's go get Kevin Coleman, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, Keanu Neal. Come on.
Bring Mohamed Sanu back while we're at it.
Sanu back. Just not Vic Beasley or Dan Quinn. They can stay gone.
No. Let them stay where they're at.
Yeah.
No, Vic's just finding the XFL doing his thing.
John and Cole. That's funny, but if that would you be mad at this?
It depends on what Deion we get. I mean, like Deion was. I mean, I loved Deion when he was here early in those early years. He was a stud, man. But then, that the year he fell off, that we were in denial, kind of, and I was like, I didn't want to keep think what I was seeing was actually happening, but we had to come on the show and talk about it. And I know it took a longer for you to really accept it.
We did, but John told me, Cole, and I was like, I don't see it. I was like, Stevie Wonder. I was like, I don't even. And I finally had to come to the. John, I see what you're saying.
He was just never the same after those injuries. It was so hard to watch.
Yeah, that was it. And the fact that he was injured but didn't really say it, so we all assumed he's got to be hurt. But he didn't say it till after the season. Then he goes and gets the shoulder surgery. We're like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. He's making business decisions because he's not trying to get his shoulder ripped off, making a tackle. So I get it. But no, if he's healthy, man, and he's like ready to come back, and obviously he wasn't a fit in DP's defense. I mean, he didn't really have a position there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be open to it. If it's good, healthy Deion who's ready to go out there and I mean, I wouldn't be mad if I'm getting invited back.
There you go. Ryan made Harry Douglas 1,000-yard receiver. Yes, he did. Mike Jones.
Thank man. I love Aaron said Ikenna in Chukwu. I did it, man. Aaron, I love Aaron's. He's always correcting me and Berto on our pronunciations. I love it.
Ikenna in. Oh, goodness gracious!
I love it.
That's mouthful.
Dude, maybe it's his son or something.
Oh man. Let's see. Aaron said when the Jets cut Corey Davis, Arthur has to jump on it. Yeah, I would think you would, man. Mm-hmm. I think you would. And Jay Black, what's up, man?
Familiar with.
He said that University of Buffalo. Yeah, he really could, man. I mean, from what I'm reading and what I'm hearing, I mean, 6'3", 210, runs a 4.4. I mean, if that was his crazy. If that was his 40 time, then man. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he can make the team, I'm all about it, man. Man. So overall, Mike, what would you grade this draft as, man?
A+ out of my Falcon Super Bowl. We going undefeated. You could have skipped me and went straight to Cole. We going undefeated and we going Super Bowl. Like, you can go straight to Cole.
Oh shit. Yeah, I figured. Cole, what'd you say, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at just the draft picks, that might be where you want to give it like a B+. But when you factor in the fact that you are also counting Jeff Okudah and Jonnu Smith in this draft class, technically, that's got to be an A. I mean, 2 great moves with late round picks and then picking up some great players, some in the later rounds with what you have left. Like, there's no way to look at that and be unhappy with it.
There goes part 10 of Falcons. Hey, I'm telling you, Aaron, I'm already on part 10. I was there in free agency. I was on stage 10 in free agency, Aaron. You're right.
I'm hoping that we can just skip over the anger part this year. And not have let's not have that stage this year if at all possible. Yeah, man. I mean, I was trying to look back at a post and I can't find it now, but yeah, I mean, I was trying to. Somebody had gave us like I think it was CBS Sports, who they are just dumb as shit when it comes to Atlanta Falcons football. Like, it's just amazing the level of just hilarity that. Anyway, they gave us, I think, like it was either a C or a D, I believe.
How? Based on what?
So, literally just because Algier went 1,000 yards last year and we drafted a running back. That was their only argument.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you know, and yes, 1,000 yards is great, but it's an averaging 58-ish yards a game. So like it's good, but it's not like it's like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing. I mean, it's good, you know. I mean, and plus we're looking at a guy in Bijan who's going to give you not just running yards, but all purpose yards. I mean, like legit, like, you know, receiving and running yards too. So that's going to be a little bit different, man.
And then E-Rob had a great point. I never forget, he said that Tyler, I love Tyler. There's no knock to Tyler. Tyler is not going to bust one and just take off for the touchdown.
No,
So when he gets a 20-yard run now, it's a touchdown. That can, and you winning.
Some Mike Froze moment. Glad you're here. Glad you're here for it, Cole. It happens every show. It's just a matter of when, what face he's making, like what point he's in the middle of making. It's hilarious. It happens every time. Ghost Pepper said, well, for what it's worth, we brought in a UDFA, College Washington Jr. running back BJ Baylor, who's currently on the practice squad. Yeah, true. I mean, that could be guys that are on the backup. And I just mentioned Carlos too. Yeah.
And we got Huntley once he's back from that Achilles injury. See what he's still got in the tank.
Exactly. CBS or me riding the Falcons. Of course. Yeah, man. They always do. As if all teams don't have more than one running back. Anyway, it makes sense. Yeah, man. Make it make sense. Of course it does. Yeah, exactly right, man. Yeah. I mean, you don't the crowd that says we have Tyler, I don't totally get that, because we have Tyler, but do you want to ride Tyler into the ground like Todd Gurley was ridden into the ground, like Zeke Elliott was ridden into the ground? Like, I mean, like, that's not what you want to do. Hey,
it wouldn't be a show if my internet didn't go out. Once a show, buddy. Always while I'm talking.
Oh shit, man. Yeah. Perfect point, Millie, man. He said Seahawks took Charbonnet when they got Walker also, and they ain't crying.
Yep.
That's the league this year. And look, and there was I forgot who it was earlier. I think it might have been JR or somebody pointed this out that or he was responding to a tweet. I should have saved it. But anyway, the point was, we're lining up to run the shit out of the ball and maul people against a league that's not really built to defend that anymore.
Nope.
The league is built to defend high passing, high throwing offenses. I mean, we're going to come and smash you in the face. And then when we're done with it, we're going to run over you again. So like, there's going to be a constant thing. And I mean, if Dez can we said it last show, man, if Dez can just not screw up and just do the simple things, and, you know, hit a deep throw when it's there, and, you know, and not make a lot of mistakes, then I mean, it's going to be we're going to be a hellish offense to play against, man.
I'm going to tell you why you can't complain. I don't care how old you are, because if you go on Twitter, it's some fans that was here when Jesus was alive and all that. I get it. What I'm saying is this: no matter how long you've been watching the Falcons, when do you remember where we was just known for smashing people and then like running back over them and running back like with we was never known for that. So it's like, so this is epic, and you should be happy that we got a strength that very few people in the league gonna be, if anybody's gonna be able to deal with. Like, we're gonna be running. So all Desmond have to do is be Alex Smith. I keep saying it, and we going to the playoffs. All they got to do is be functional.
Man, it's gonna be 2 times in the same. This is great.
Ooh.
That's a great look too.
But yeah, to piggyback off that,
Yeah.
like we set up an offense that is so conducive for a young quarterback. Like
Yeah.
with what we have, Desmond does not have to be elite. He just has to be good.
Yeah.
And we put the pieces around him to be able to do that.
He should be the happiest guy on the face of the planet right now. I mean, we
Yeah,
just
he
gave
should.
him Bijan. We gave him a starting left tackle, or I mean, I'm sorry, starting left guard more than likely. That's going to be, protecting him. And like I said, if you just want to look at the line, I mean, go back last year and look at YouTube Tyler Allgeier's runs, and anything to the right, you're going to see Lindstrom and McGarry at the second level and third level sometime rolling over people. And if we can do that the left side this year with Bergeron added to it, then like I said, it's just going to be, and then you bring in a fresh Tyler or a fresh CP at the end of the game, and like, dude, I don't know about y'all, man. Like, I don't want to. If it's late in the game, I'm already beat up and I'm already tired, and now I got this angry large man running at me again, who's fresh and not tired. Man, dude, it's a different thing, man. So I'm all about it, dude. Like that's. For when Mike and I grew up, that was a style of football that was really prevalent. And, and if our defense, and like I said, and some folks got on me about it, but I was like, man, Bijan helps your defense. As crazy as that sounds on the surface. But like, if
he help him get rest.
If he's turning 4-yard runs into 7 and 8, 9-yard runs and they're extending drives, your defense is not on the field as much. Then keeps the other offense off the field. So, I mean,
I hate to bring this up, but the Super Bowl we lost was because our defense was gassed out. With the 3 running backs.
100%, man. Aaron said Falcons want smash mouth football run through you, and we're going to throw it, and our guys will hit you. Yeah, man. Our receivers, running backs, our tackle breaking machines. Yeah, and and just the shiftiness that that Bijan has is ridiculous.
Dang it! It always gets me. It always frees
Bodie, what's up, man?
Buddy!
Make sure y'all check out One Time for the Fan. I think they're recording tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bodie, but I think they're recording tonight. Their 100th episode is coming up soon. We just had our 100th episode.
Hey.
They're about to have their 100th episode, man. Make sure y'all check them out, man. Great show. Him and Jack and Chase are great, man.
Bodie said, I'm glad everyone just automatically knows that Jalen Carter is the star we needed and that we not going to because y'all know better than Terry.
It's the thing, man. I mean, like we knew the talent that he had. That was never a question. And like I said, you can go back and look at any show we did. I've always said from the start, give me Jalen. If he's there, I want to have Jalen. But as it got closer and those things started coming out, it kind of felt like, and what we've all talked about on this show, about the character and the everything, all the work ethic. And when those questions start to pop up from Georgia coaches, if it's true or not, if it's out there, or you just know that's going to be a red flag for at least Terry and Arthur, and then the folks they want. And the fact that Philly, and I said, well, Philly didn't have a problem with it. It's Philly. We're talking about states away from Georgia, and he's with guys that he was with, and they have half the Georgia defense, for Christ's sake. Yeah. So I mean, like, he's with his boys. If there's ever a situation for him to be good, it's that situation. So like, I totally get it. Like, I understand why Philly took him and everything. So I mean, and he could absolutely be great. We don't know. We have no idea. It's just
what's so funny to me is you're talking about a fan base who still gets so heated when they hear the name Vic Beasley. Like, if you want to piss off a Falcons fan, bring up Vic Beasley. And then you want us to turn around and draft a guy who might have the same issue, incredibly physically talented, but with character and dedication concerns. Like, that's just setting us up for another disappointment like we had in 2015.
Couldn't have said it better, man.
And I want to say this again. I'll say it again and again and again. That's not us judging the man. No. We not saying that.
No.
Falcons, they must have talked to the dude, and it's all I'm saying. It's not that they say, "Oh, what a horrible human."
No, of course.
But if it's one thing that puts Bijan above, this man talking about he gonna donate his first check to church. You not gonna? Is that so? Just a question, and then the guy just talking about church. Which one would you go with if you hiring somebody? So it's like, I love Jalen Carter. I wish him the absolute best. I don't judge him for his mistake. We all want him to. That's not what we're saying. We just saying the Falcons may have noticed one bit of maybe a character flaw, but with no even question.
all the legal issues aside, one of the biggest things you heard was questions about his dedication to football. Like, I'm not going to judge the man for his legal issues. It was a horrific accident, and I hope he is seeking the mental health help that he deserves. But when you're questioning someone's dedication to the game of football, that's not someone you want to play for your professional football team.
It's a business.
Bodie
man.
got Myles Garrett on the show tomorrow. Can everybody go see that? Because I won't miss it. Bodie got Myles Garrett on the show.
Not the football player. Fox 5 Myles Garrett.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you do that, Bodie? Like, what's going on? Like, still, that's a hell of a goal, Bodie. Congrats.
Damn right. That's right. Yeah, Miles has been on their show before. He come back for the 100th tomorrow. Y'all don't miss it. It'll be a good show. Three Dirties, what's up, man? He said, patience is going to be our strength. We're going to run until you change your defense. Then we have passing weapons, including that number 8 receiving back. Yeah.
And really nobody's talking about Kyle Pitts. When you start keying in on the run, what you going to do with that? You forgot. I want to say this. Let's be clear. No one has seen what he can even turn into yet. We've seen a glimpse. No one, you've seen about 25% of what that man can do. You have no idea what that man can do yet. No one does. And I'm loving to see. I cannot wait.
100%, man. But he said correct, Cole. People don't dig that deep in the news. They just go name value.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many friends of mine that I've talked to in the last 2 days have texted me. They're Georgia fans, and they literally, and I get on them. I'll call them out. Like, y'all watched 3 games last year of the Falcons, and you watch every Georgia game, and then you're going to say, you know, like this is the same old team, the same old regime. It's not. It's not. There's a difference, man. That's you can't do that. Chris said Tat McKinley actually upsets me a little, dude. That's up. Yeah, dude. Yeah. At least Vic was productive for one season and we went to a Super Bowl.
Good
Tack was God. Yeah, that's a really good one.
That's
Pam, Ms. Pam said Philly has a veteran leader that will put whatever issues come up in check. Yeah. I mean, we do too. We do too. We have a veteran presence here. We have a great veteran presence here too. But the fact is, you know, again, we are an hour away from Athens. You know, Flowery Branch is an hour away from Athens. So, you know, this again, I don't know. And like what Cole said, if there's any question about his dedication or passion for football, I don't want to go down that road again because we've done that before. Arthur Love, high character players. How can you hate one person?
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. Kenny, what's up, brother?
Kenny. Sorry, I'm late. I'm still on cloud 9 and I'm out of my Falcon mind. We building a complete physical team. Falcons, let's go. Yes, I'm out of my Falcon mind. I'm telling you.
I mean, just the overall positivity, man, we've gotten from this offseason, this draft. It's light years different from last year. Because I mean, we were searching for shit to talk about last year. Kind of like pumping up Marcus Mariota for Christ's sake. Like, what if he revives himself and he's just and we go, and then it was, I mean, just crazy, man. Aaron said the Philadelphia Bulldogs at this point might have to start rooting for the Eagles now. Yeah,
man, I'm always out of my Falcon mind, and I would have celebrated if we drafted a cripple. I'm going to tell you we won the Super Bowl. What I'm going to tell you is it's justified now because it's not just me. You can look at what everyone else is doing. So you can't just it's justified. Everyone else is excited. I want to say this too, man. Some of y'all, and I mean to say what I'm getting ready to say. Some of y'all just need to shut the fuck up. Cause I think that y'all bring down people that when y'all see everybody excited and happy, you just have to find the thing to bring it down a notch. And why, man? We excited about a draft. Just you don't have to say every thought.
Yeah.
You know that you can just think something. I don't know if some of y'all know that you can think a silent thought without tweeting it or saying it. I don't know. You can just think something without saying it. And it's no need when everybody is happy for you to try to bring the whole fan base down with your take. There's just no point in it, man. Let everybody be happy and excited because we don't win. We don't have a Super Bowl ring. Let us get excited about something. Let us have something. Goodness gracious.
Tell him, Mike. And I think Dave tweeted from Talkaholic. He said the Phila Georgia Doggles.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah. There we go.
That was great. But no, I mean, off what Aaron said, I mean, like, I don't like. I understand if you root for, like, I've rooted for Alabama for a damn near my whole life, and I mean, I love it, dude. When Julio signed the Falcons, love it. I mean, I love the DeMarco Hellum signing. Like, anytime a Bama player like signs with the Falcons. I'm happy about it. But do I
I
want them to sign all the Alabama players? Or am I mad if they don't? Of course I'm not. I don't give a shit. If they didn't feel like he was a good fit, great. Best of luck to you, like Bryce, man. It sucks that Bryce went to Carolina because now we have to face Bryce twice a year. I hope we sack the shit out of Bryce and like intercept him 50 times. Like that's like that's part I don't get. Some folks can't separate it. Like I don't, like I'm good, man. Like doesn't bother me at all. Like I want Bama players to do well in the league, but like not against us. Not against us.
Yeah.
So that's
because
the difference.
If you love Jalen, if you're a fan of him, if you want him to grow as a person, as a man, and everything, hilarious, Aaron. Hilarious. I hate to do it, man. It'd be these people are crazy sometimes. But I just want to know if you're a fan of him, then be happy for him. Man, that man can retire his mother now. He get a house. The man is wealthy. He gonna be able to start generational wealth. The man, I'm sure, man, he got leadership. Be happy for him and don't turn it into something negative. That's all it's all positive. There's no need for that.
100%, man. 100%. Millie said, O linemen love run blocking and D linemen hate it. Get them tired early and air it out.
Yep.
It's all right, man.
I had to do it, Kenny. Just let us have something. Pam said, I'll let you know I got my Out of Your Falcon Mind sweatshirt. I will definitely wear it this fall over winter. Wear it in the summer. Sweat your arms out. You should be funky at the party. Wear the hoodie in the summer. I don't care.
Cut the sleeves off. Go all Bill Belichick.
Cut the sleeves off and just get some tattoos, Miss Pam. Get a gold chain. Just do it all.
That's it, Millie.
It's food.
That's it, Millie.
That's the type.
I love the guy, but I hope we beat the living hell out of him.
Get me hyped because he just say the stuff that he know gonna get me excited. Aaron said, "Talk that." Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, dude, with the beef we added in the line, man. Like the edges should be the Carter, Ebiketie, Malone, Anderson. Even those guys should be just so damn happy, man.
Yep.
Those guys, those offensive linemen are going to be so like involved with Calais and Grady and Onyemata and TQ and Goldman. It gets lost in this whole thing. Big ass Eddie Goldman coming back. You know, like. I mean, they're going to have some issues, man.
And that's what's so great is we're going to be able to rotate guys in and out and keep them fresh and keep them beaten up on opposing offensive lines just because we have the depth that we haven't had in as long as I can remember.
Yeah, dude.
But that's all I'm saying. Like, let us have something, man. We all excited. Just let us have it just let us have it, man. Chris said Mariota is my favorite. Hey, hold on, block him. I don't even need to hear the rest. Block him, take him up. Chris said Mariota is my favorite Oregon player of all time, but I absolutely hated it. See, he can just be honest. He can be real about it. That's all. He loved Mariota in Oregon, but didn't like him as a fit with the Falcons. That's just an honest take.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, Chris. And answer question to everyone in chat. John Mike Chacol is ice. What do you guys think Ryan is going to do with D'Angelo?
I think I'm saying positionless. Like you gonna do a number. Like John just brought up a great point at the wide receiver too. It might be 4 people that fill that position. So I just think that he gonna do a lot of different things. I don't think it'll be one thing.
Yeah, Malone, he was the guy that was undersized as an edge, so like he won a lot on speed. So he should benefit a lot from these bigger guys coming in there and like occupying dudes and allowing him to do. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen if he's put on any weight. It would not hurt him to put on like 10, 15 pounds.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what they got in store for him.
I think a lot of that's also going to depend on whether we run a 3-4 or a 4-3 under Nielsen, and if he's going to be kind of a drop back linebacker or not.
Yeah.
Nick, Cole, what would you run with the talent we got on the team? What would you run more? I know we're going to do both. What would you run more often?
With the questions we still have at linebacker and the depth we have on the line, I think a 4-3 or even a 4-2-5 is going to be a better look for us. With the depth we have in the secondary and the depth we have on the line. I know ball. I watch ball.
I love it, man. Cole talking that talk.
No, man, we talked about like with DeMarco earlier in the game. Like if earlier in the show, if DeMarco Helms comes in and proves he can be a reliable third safety, or even with Jalen, I mean, like you may see some 3 safety looks. It's less legit, especially depending, like you said, with what happens with the linebacker crew.
I am a firm believer of just having your best 11 guys on the field on defense, whether that's
absolutely.
a 3-4, a 4-3, a 4-2-5. Have your best 11 guys out there at all times, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, and then they're absolutely going to. It's going to change based on the opposition too. I mean, that's going to be a week to week type thing, depending on who we're going up against.
Your man is Richie Grant. That's your man. 20 grand. You've been with him since early on. You called it. I'm asking you, will he have his best year now because of what's around him?
He should. If he don't, it's time to move on because he's.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, I mean, you
came with the. See, that's John. See how John that's John, man.
Yep.
John said, cutthroat. Johnny Yates, cutthroat.
Dude, I mean, yeah, his biggest issue was, and like I said, it was just him and like Jalen. The difference between Bates and Jalen's huge as far as like coverage and what Bates can cover compared to what Jalen could, and just the experience and their knowledge and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So that just the freedom that should give Richie to do what he's more comfortable with.
I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have a ridiculously good year. I mean, yeah. Miss B said I saw the Bud Dupree press conference and like him a lot, heard of him, but really like his personality.
Mm-hmm.
I love what he said. He said he wants to be the most violent version of himself, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. If he can stay healthy, I'm down, man. Let's go. Okay. Aaron said he's up to 257 now.
There we go.
I love that. Because, he was 230 maybe coming in, 230-ish, probably, I think.
Yeah.
What Millie said, man, Bud is a beast when he's on the field, 100%, man. I think, it's just all the – I mean, we're going to be – dude, I can't wait, man. I mean, like I said, we're going to have to get to training camp so early and just there's going to be some people lined up to see Bijan and see these defensive guys and just to see everything.
Fly out just to come.
You're going to have to, dude.
Hey,
you're going to have to.
I'm going to tell you this, Cole, man, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Whenever you come to Atlanta, man, we will kick it with you, buddy. We love you to death.
100%.
Yeah.
I might just have to take you guys up on that. Careful what you wish for.
Dude, anytime. Trust me.
Anytime, buddy.
We have a flexible schedule. We will make that happen, man.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Let's see. We'll get a few more comments and we'll close this down, man.
I wanted Jalen Carter too, but what's the point of I wanted Jalen Carter, but what's the point of keep harping over it? However, I think it's fair to say 5th round pick Algiers gave us 1,035 on the ground. I expect Bijan to give us 1,300 or more. I love it, buddy.
Yep, absolutely. Kenny said John agreed, depending on what opportunities it's going to be a player for. Yeah, exactly, man. And then Alberto's all about the 4-2-5.
Alberto knows that is.
Yeah, exactly. Man. So, Mike, you got anything else before we close it down, buddy?
I would like all y'all to go follow my man Cole. Please go follow Cole. And I want to end with this. Here's my final thought. I want to first say, hey, I just respect the shit out you, Cole, for not because you know your things, but you don't feel. You know what I call it? Intellectual masturbation is what I see a whole lot. It's like you know something, you feel like you know it, so you just want to keep spewing in. You feel like you just being like you're arrogant, you're being condescending. I feel like you know your stuff to a high level, but you're like humble on a low level. So I just always appreciate that about you, man. You seem like the coolest dude, and you're a true Blue Falcon fan, and that's hard to do when you're in a whole nother state. So I think you got the Kyle Pitts jersey. I think you got Matt Ryan. I think you got all the gear. You got the cup. I love you to death, man. And I just want to thank you for rocking with Out of Your Falcon Mind since very, very, very early on, man. We appreciate you so much.
I really appreciate you guys having me on. Let me talk ball, talk about my Utah hometown guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we got to have you back on, man.
Shame on you, Vic. Vic, I'm gonna get you for this.
We'll get him on here. Yeah. We'll get him on here.
Yeah, and you got to definitely. We got a long summer, man, so you got to come back on, and we'll have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
so.
I've got a flexible work schedule, especially over the next couple of weeks. So just let me know.
And please, please do what Aaron said and hit that like button before y'all leave. But Cole, plug your thing with Vic too, man.
Absolutely. We're You on the Mountain. You can find us on Variety Sports Network. It's been a little bit since we put out a new episode just because of all the stuff I've had going on with my shoulder. But hoping to get back in the studio soon and get some more Utah football coverage out there for you guys.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir, man. And I did not mention it. Thank you. We are coming to you from the Variety Sports Network. It's just, sometimes
Yeah.
this draft had me so excited. I forget
Oh, yeah.
things. I just,
Yeah.
I mean, just Cole reminded me, yeah, man, make sure y'all check out Variety Sports, man. We've got a lot of good shows on there, hit college, pro, different sports, baseball, you name it, man. A lot of good shows going on out there. Make sure you hit him up. Jay Black, one, he said, yeah, we have to believe the Falcon staff did their due diligence on JC and found it. Yeah, exactly, man. That's it. We're not in those meetings. We don't know those interviews. I mean, he said Bijan did say, or Biss Pam said Bijan did say he's going to be learned from.
Yep.
Absolutely. Mac Town Dirty. What's up, man? Good to see you, bud.
Mac Town.
Yeah, so Mike and I will be back probably our regular Wednesday show. And we might have another guest on. We'll see. And just kind of put a bow on this off season, I guess, free agency, the draft, of whatever the chat wants to talk about that night. We'll get into it. And then we'll just kind of play it by ear, man. We'll see. There's plenty of storylines. We might look at position groups and see, what each position group looks like. We'll have some fun. Mike's going to keep putting out some fun stuff for y'all on TikTok and our shorts and stuff like that. So just stay tuned to the channel, man. If you're watching this for the first time, I didn't say this earlier, but if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, man, we appreciate you for being here. Hit the like button for us. Subscribe if you haven't already, man. Just helps us keep growing, getting us out there more to the Falcons community. Listening to us on Spotify or iTunes, drop us a 5-star review. If you write us anything on iTunes, we will shout you out on the show. We'll read it on here. And you can email us, atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. And we've got several emails over the last season, and we've read them out as well. So it's been fun, man. This has been the most fun draft that we've had, dude, in a while. I can't wait to just be able to do this every year, man. Live stream it every year and have fun with it. Mike, you got anything else, man?
I absolutely love it, man. I'm in heaven right now. I'm out of my Falcon mind. And I know that's not nothing new for me, but I still had to say it. I'm out of my Falcon mind. I'm brimming with energy. I'm brimming with joy. And I just ask y'all, man, we got so much to celebrate. Just keep it positive, man. Just celebrate. It's a good time.
This real quick, Matt Tunberg, I noticed how Bijan looks for referee to hand the ball to.
Manners.
He's all business.
Barry Sanders used to do that. Barry Sanders did that.
That man is all business. All right, boys. Look, hey, thanks everybody joining us on your Sunday, halfway through the day. Cole, man, again, thanks so much for jumping on with us, dude.
Cole.
The pleasure's been all mine. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So we will catch you all Wednesday. It's probably 7:00 for, like I said, just all season wrap up show. We'll probably have a few guests and have a good time with it. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Start off your week strong, and we will see you all on Wednesday. Mr. Mike, take us out, brother.
Out of your Falcon mind. Period.